Okay, I'm going to show you how to set up a router. It's got a, or it will have a fixed IP SIM card inside this router, and we would use it to connect to the Niagara Tridium, either the MAC 36 or the JACE 8000 controller. We'd put a 4G or 5G SIM card in. This one's going to just have a 4G in there, and then we'll be able to communicate back to the cloud with all the points, and we do this on numerous sites, so we're not reliant on a fixed internet connection. So we're using a Proroute here, H685 TW. I'll show you more information about that router a bit later on. The default IP address is 192.168.8.1. Now we're going to change that to go onto the same range as the JACEs or the edges that I've got here in the office. Normally I would set it to 192.168.1.1, but purely because I'm using a different network here in the office, I'm going to set this to 192.168.0.100. I'm not using 1 because my router, my main internet router, is using 1. So I'm going to set up the address on here, going to set up the username and password, and going to set up the port forwarding, and that's what all this video is about, setting everything up ready to connect to your LAN on a JACE 8000 or a MAC 36. So at the moment the default password is admin and the default username is admin. This is brand new out of the box, not even gone into it yet. So it's now asking me to change the password. So I'm going to put in my password. Don't know whether I did that right. Do it again. Save and next. Now I don't have a SIM card yet in this, so we're not going to be able to connect or anything daft like that, but all I'm doing is setting up ready. So I want to go to my system, and I want to go to my network, I want to go to my LAN. I'll change that first. So I'm going to change that address so it puts me back on the internet, so I can go back on the internet. 0.100, because at the moment I've set my IP range to 192.168.8. whatever number, and we need it back onto the 0 range so that I can go be on the internet. So I'm just going to save it at that, and I'm not going to do any more changes yet. I'm just going to save that, so when we log in we're going to go to 192.168.0.100, and then I'm going to go to services, and I should be able to reboot the server from there. Still waiting for changes to be applied. Come on, it doesn't take that long. Apparently it does. Unless it's already changing itself and I can't log in now, because the cell router's going up there as well. But normally you reboot. Maybe it's proved me wrong and it's just changing it now. Let me put you on pause and let's get back into this. So yes, as soon as I save, it started to reboot. So I'm now on 192.168.0.100. Put in the username, put in the password, and click login, which was my new password. So it will be down, we don't have a SIM card in there. If we did, the IP address would be up there, etc, etc. So we've changed the LAN, so I'm happy with that now. I want to do port forwards, and I want to be in there as well. ICMP check. I want to tick that. I want to search for the Google. So I'm pinging the 8.8.8.8, and if it's failed, restart the module. So if it loses connection, then it will carry on pinging, and it will carry on restarting the module to try and get a connection back up to a cell tower. Network, firewall. Now I'm going to just jump straight to security here and change port 80 to port 81, because the controller would probably use port 80, and when we connect in there now, we will use :81. So save that. I could enable whitelists and all that lot, so it's now kicked me back out again, but because now I need to do :81 in the browser. Log back in again. Now when we put a SIM card in there, we'll be putting an APN in there as well. I think you find that in the mobile networks. So you can go through the setup wizard, but there is a one where you can put the VPN in there, and I can't seem to find it at the moment. Oh, the other one as well, wireless LAN, WAN network and LAN network. You can make it so that you've got two ports on here, a WAN and a LAN, and you can make it, you can bridge it so that the WAN becomes a LAN. So you're not tying up any extra Ethernet ports. You can just plug it in series with another connection to your system, to your Jace. Not routes, setup wizards there, services is there. Let's just get rid of that. VPN we won't be using because we've got a fixed IP address, and we're not using VPN. Network, operational mode, mobile, and this is where we would put in the APN of your provider for the fixed IP SIM card. You'd put that in there, and I want to go to firewall. I've changed my security to 81, we've already just seen that, and then I'm going to go to my port forwards. I'm going to put a new port in there. You can see this is from previous things that I've done before, but we're following that routine. So 3011, we know it's just TCP. 3011, external IP address. Well, this particular one, I think it's 140, so 192.168.0.140 and 301, so we add that port. The next one, 5011 is the other platform port, TCP. 5011, same IP address, 192.168.0.140, add that. And then we've got 1911 if we just use unsecure on the Fox, which we probably won't do, but I'm just still putting it in. Well, I say probably we won't do, we won't. I will always use 4911. 491, and I always use 5011 as well. I will never use the unsecures. We want that to TCP. 4911. 192.168.0.140. Normally if it's out of the box Jace it would be 140, but because I've got it on my network, I'm also going to do port 80 TCP, external port 80, 192.168.0.140, add. Now that's if I've got one controller on that network. Now if I was to have a second controller, so two controllers on the network, but I wanted to use the same fixed IP address to get in, I would set the other ports on the other controller to, for example, 3011 would be 3012. So let's just put them in anyway. So say I've got two controllers on my network, which I'd actually do. So TCP 3012 192.168.0.123, we put that to 3012, and then 5012 TCP 5012 and 192.168.0.123, 5012 add, and then we do the 1912 192.168.0.123 add, 4912 TCP 4912 192.168.0.123 add, and I probably won't be bothering with port 80, well, we could use 82, let's just do it, 82 TCP 82 192.168.0.123 add, save, and that is the setup done for this router. Now I need to show you what the router is first of all, so let me just get you, well, you can see it's a Proroute H685 wireless cellular router, and there's their website, so you can look that up, but I'll just quickly show you. Let me put you on pause. I think we've got it on this website, bmsparts.co.uk, wireless routers, and it's there. H685 4G router, and information there about it. Yeah, I've always used these routers for many years, and touch wood, they've never let me down. There's a lot of other things you could do with these that I don't actually do. I just use them for communicating via the cloud service to the controller, bringing in the points, doing the graphics. Customer logs into the cloud system, views all his plant, can change his set points, and these have never failed me. Again, touch wood, they are a great unit, and these are the two ports, the LAN and the WAN, and you can make both these two a LAN in the settings, and you've got your nice indication, so that cell light will be on when it's picked up a cell. You can use Wi-Fi. Some sites I've used Wi-Fi, so when I'm going maintenance I can just connect straight to it and get on the internet. Some sites I don't use Wi-Fi. I normally use a 2 GB monthly card in there, so I normally don't go over 2 GB a month, no matter how big the system is. Naturally, if it's a massive system and you've got lots of controllers, you will probably be moving more data than 2 GB a month, but one controller, 2 controllers, no. We're monitoring the points 24/7, we're bringing in the data, we're bringing in the histories, and we don't have a problem with going over the 2 GB a month with that. So that gives you some idea of how to set up a fixed IP SIM card to go to your Jace controllers, and you don't have to worry about the client's internet. And the other thing that I use is mine's what they call a multi-tower, so if a tower does drop out, it will then try and get onto another network, i.e. EE, 3G, O2. It will try whatever networks, but you can fix it to a network if you want to as well. So there is an option of fixing the mobile network, and it's certainly not there, but there is definitely an option of fixing it. That's where you do your bridge mode there. But there is an option somewhere, and I can't think of. I never fix them, but there is. I know some people do, but there is an option of fixing the network, so it just uses Vodafone or whatever. But again, like I said, I don't use them. All right, thank you for watching.